Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem, the Dream. And JJ, I got one question for you.
What up?
What you gonna do when COVID-19 runs wild on you?
Well, as your co-host J Mac Main, in the fine words of your boy Enzo, damn, I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Okay, but that was a serious question. What are you gonna do when COVID-19 runs wild on you? Do you have medical insurance?
Oh yeah, I do, but you want to hear something real funny that's gonna make you laugh. So I was listening to the radio this morning, and they played a snippet from your president, and he happened to say that a vaccine is coming. It's in the works, and it could possibly, maybe not be here by October, so he could seem like the savior, so we can reelect him.
Yeah, right. Moron. This guy, man. This guy's man. This freaking guy, man. I mean, reelect him for. I mean, it's like for what, man? I mean, he's a poor representation of elegance, grace, poise, and intelligence that this country has tried to establish itself on. You know what I mean? And it's like this country has been trying to. I mean, let me not say try, but I don't know. Has been trying to. I can't even say try. I can't even say that this country tried to, distance themselves from its barbaric past. But you know what I mean? Only thing I can say is that him being a representation of our country is horrible. You know what I'm saying? He's totally unfit for the job, as far as his articulation, as far as his presentation, as far as how he addresses the people. So this moron is going to do anything he can to make himself seem good, seem like he's good, and then in the meantime, down Obama, man, throw a few shots at Obama. You know what I mean? Hating on Obama because but whatever. Anyway, enough of that.
So my theory is behind everything is how this is how I reference it. So how you have a preteen, let's say 13, 14, maybe 15, and you leave the house, and how you have two kids and you have one a little younger than 15. You leave the house, you tell the 15-year-old, hey, you're in charge, make sure nothing happens when I'm gone. And they're like, yes, that's how I feel he is. He's that 15-year-old so to watch the house, make sure that happens. He's like, yeah, I'm in charge. Yes, I'm the boss. So that's how I always reference it. Is The Rock still running? I remember he promised us 4 years ago he was going to run this year. I don't know what happened with that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, The Rock. I think if The Rock ran, he would win. But
of course he would.
He would win just based off popularity and his whole alpha male image. So people be like, the ladies love him, and a lot of guys will follow what the girls do. So
right, and it's different. It'll be different.
Yeah, so they're gonna be like, oh yeah, let's vote for him. We like him.
Right.
I would want to know his political views and his stance, and I would want to know what he has to offer. But the thing about politics is this, though, is that you can have a lot of great policies that you want to put in place, but if the House of Congress don't agree on your legislation, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can invoke executive order, but you can only do it but so many times. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the Attorney General and all these other guys who are going to be like, you're doing too much, or I forgot what they call it, what term it is when they try to execute executive order so many times. Because I know Trump tried to execute executive order on I think the stimulus check or whatever again for the second one, and they like held him up. They was like, no, like like you had too many strikes already. So But you can have great legislation, and if they don't agree on, if like the House of Congress don't want to agree, like if the Republican side doesn't want to agree with the Democratic side, and they can't come to a high enough vote to sign off on that legislation, whatever you want to put in place won't get put in place. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about being a president is like you have power to an extent. You know what I'm saying? You have influence, but you have certain power to an extent, especially when it comes to laying out certain laws and stuff. Because they did it to Obama, and then a lot of and he had a lot of things that he wanted to do. They held off on, and then what they did was the legislations that Obama and his campaign wrote up. Some of the legislations that they wrote up, they told him no, you couldn't do it. And then when it came to Trump's administration, they took some of the ideas of those legislations that Obama wanted to put in power and put in place, and they gave it to Trump and said, "Oh, Trump, do this, do that, do that," and gave it to him.
Wow.
And said, you should sign off on this, sign off on that, sign off on this, and then we'll agree on it or whatever, and put in place to, in order to build up his credibility, to make him look good for the Republican Party. So, that's the game of politics, man. That's how they play the game. But
right.
It's crazy. But yeah, man. Let's get into this, man. So we're gonna do a short show real quick because we want to catch NXT. We want to see what's gonna happen between Finn Balor and Adam Cole. We're excited about tonight. We definitely want to know what's going down with these two. So me and Jay, we were talking earlier before we came on live, and we spoke about this yesterday on the last show. And again, our feelings is pretty much cemented on Finn Balor should be the one that walks away with the title. And Jay, you brought up an interesting point about. I'd rather you share it.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I agree. We both agree that Finn Balor should win the belt. But if this match ends in a double countout, a double disqualification, both men, no contest, or anything of that nature, where Finn Balor is not walking out a champ, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna fly down to the Thunderdome tomorrow morning. I'm gonna knock on Triple H's off or William Regal's office door. No, I'm going to Stanford. Bump the Thunder. I'm going to Stanford, and I'll be like, "Hey, bruh, come on, son.
Come on, son. Come on, son. We gotta finish this, man." And
yeah,
I know
I take over. I mean, it was the NXT Super Tuesday Part 3.
Yeah. I heard the whole thing. The reason why they moved NXT to Tuesday was because they were losing in ratings to AEW.
Oh, I thought it was basketball.
Oh, okay. Well, I could go with that because of basketball. It makes more sense because I'm quite sure that Vince McMahon and Triple H and William Regal probably like, AEW, whatever. You know what I mean? They still have a long way to go to build their company, but
right.
I heard that's the rumor I heard. They're trying out Tuesdays to see how it works. But yeah, we need a definitive winner because that was a great, that was a dope Fatal 4-Way Iron Man match. Never been done in WWE ever. I don't even think they ever had more than 2 people in an Iron Man match in WWE. Up until this point. Right. So, to have that, to really set that bar so high and have those 4 guys go at it, then to not have a victor. And I felt like they weren't going to have a victor because, again, it was like you have all these 4 great wrestlers who contributed so much to NXT, and it's like, yeah, we're not gonna have a definitive winner. Sean Keys is in the building. Sean Keys, what's up, Sean Keys? Thank you for joining us, bro. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Yeah, man. I just think that they need to. We need a definitive winner, and no shenanigans, no undisputed era shenanigans, no Johnny Gargano shenanigans, no Tommaso Ciampa, just a straight one-on-one victory. The victory should definitely go to Finn. And Adam Cole has ran his course in NXT. What else are they going to do? Adam Cole is going to regain the NXT championship again, and then Undisputed Era is going to regain the tag team championships again, and then Roderick Strong is going to get the North American championship again. Because again, at this point, Roderick Strong needs to now move up to like Intercontinental United States, possibly heavyweight in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys need to move up to better goal, better accomplishments. So, and we talked about this earlier. It's like the issue is that again, NXT is developmental. It's a developmental brand. And I was telling Jay earlier, I said, listen, that's like you graduate out of kindergarten, right? Because remember, kindergarten is developmental until you go into first grade. So that's like you leaving out of kindergarten, you go back to kindergarten to teach, right? And then you decide now you want to be a kindergartner. And it's like, bro, you can't be taking naps and having snacks with the little kids. Like, bro, you're like 15 years old. Get your big ass up and and go to high school. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Is it a developmental brand though? Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right, Sean. I
don't know, because I think at first initially it was a developmental brand, but I think they started making it like the third show after AEW started picking up steam and they debuted. So I think now NXT is looked upon as the third brand or the third show. So you have Raw, SmackDown, then NXT. So I don't think NXT is more looked at as developmental at this point anymore.
It's not, but it is all right. Sean Key says it's better than the main product though. It is better than the main product. We agree. Okay, Jay. Even though it's not seen, because I know what you're saying, because that's what they're doing. Because they're saying, because right, their thing is like, all right, we're gonna put this NXT brand up against AEW because AEW is not good enough to go up against SmackDown or Raw, right? Because that's how they're looking at it, right? We're going to put we're going to put our lower brand up against this lower brand. So even though we know it's not like developmental anymore, it's still developmental because all the new talent is still filtered through NXT, except for Dominic. Unless you're Dominic. If you're Dominic, you go straight to the main roster, straight to pay-per-views.
Dominic, he's been in the main event I since he was 10 or maybe younger when Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio had the custody battle on the ladder match for Dominic.
Right. Yeah, like.
And then Vicky came out like, "No, Eddie, what are you doing?" Yo, that was
At that point, I wasn't like watching. I turned it. I think I've seen like clips of that whole feud, and I was just like, they need to stop. I'm like, Eddie and Ray, you guys can do better than this. Like, you guys are so much better than fighting over a custody of a child. What is this? Like, what is this, man? And it's so funny because I thought about that the other night. I was like, I remember they fought for custody over Dominic. What?
Right.
Like he's a NXT, like he's a WWE championship. Like, Sean Key said, I'd rather be on NXT personally. Well, Sean, I say this. And I say this, Sean. You could be on NXT, right? And you had the choice, you would be on NXT, right? The only thing about NXT, and this is what we were talking about, me and Jay was talking about earlier before we came on live, is that you won't be able to cement your legacy legitimately, right? All the guys who lived forever in the eyes of WWE, who were immortalized in like the highest capacity, were all WWE champions. Like they had to go to that tier. Like you gotta get that belt. You got like Universal title is coming up in status. The World Heavyweight title it came up. It came up and had some status, but that That's why, like, when Kofi Kingston won the WWE Heavyweight Championship, not the Universal title, not the World Heavyweight title. When he won the WWE Heavyweight Championship, it was like legacy cemented. Like, it wasn't a secondary title. It's that title that started from the Bruno Sammartino to the Hogan to the Backlund to the Rock to the Austin to the Triple H, to all the main guys. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's legacy right there. You wanna be there. Sean Key says that's WWE past though. The new WWE is different, though legacies are cemented different now. All right, so I got a question for you, right? I got a question for you. What belt would you rather take? The TNA Heavyweight Championship or the NWA Heavyweight Championship? The one that Nick Aldis has. Which belt would you rather have? That old NWA little flat square rectangle title. Which one would you rather have? Because that NWA title goes all the way back to Lou Thesz. And even though there are a lot of guys, right, NWA, because even though TNA is a more relevant brand and their title is more relevant than that NWA title, that NWA title has so much legacy attached to it. Ric Flair, freaking Dusty Rhodes, and Ron the Truth Killings. You have who else? Lou Thesz and all the other guys that held that belt. So that legacy is just timeless. I gotta find time to come on Laugh Out Loud. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, when you let us know. Let us know, man. Definitely come on anytime, man. Welcome to have you anytime. But yeah, like that legacy, man. Like it's just like when Kofi won that title, just like Jinder Mahal. Even though Jinder Mahal, I like Jinder Mahal. I think he's a great heel. I think they could do more with him. And they could use him more. But even though a lot of fans, were shocked, hated it, didn't like it, that man has legacy now attached to that title. You know what I'm saying? And that's legacy you cannot erase. They'll get rid of the Universal title. They'll make up some other secondary title to come in to replace the Universal title or whatever. But that WWE World Heavyweight title will always be there. Even after Vince is dead, will always be there because that's legacy. It's just legacy. You can't erase it. Now, NWA is better than TNA, Laugh Out Loud. Now, at one point, I'd rather have had the TNA.
Just speak.
I mean, yeah, actually, at one point, but if you had a choice to choose, if somebody came to you with a briefcase and you were a wrestler and they said, choose between these two titles, NWA and TNA, which one would you choose? You know what I'm saying? So I think so. It's just the point really is just get into the fact that guys from NXT need to go up to the main roster and start competing for legacy titles. Like the only other legacy title, there's only two other legacy titles that compares to the WWE Heavyweight Championship, and that's the Intercontinental and the tag titles, the WWE tag title, but more so the Intercontinental title. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Sean says NWA, no doubt. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like legacy titles, the only other legacy title that's close to the WWE title is the Intercontinental. It's the closest thing, closest to it. So those titles, like certain titles, is like just a legacy behind it. But a person like Finn needs to be attached to that. A person like, again, what's his name? Adam Cole, if he wants to strive for the top, you got to attach yourself to it. NXT, even though it's not a developmental brand right now, it will always be seen as the baby brand. And right now they're hitting a wall because for Finn to now go, my thing is for Finn to go back to NXT and not win a title makes no sense. He needs to win a title. He needs to win a title because it's going to diminish his character. WCW original Big Gold is Legacy and IC. Yeah, the WCW Big Gold is Legacy. The only thing with the WCW Big Gold belt though is that um, the legacy behind it sort of it's not as big as the NWA because remember before they had the big old belt they were WCW and NWA were in partnership. So NWA and WCW were in partnership because before it was WCW it was NWA. And then Ted Turner he brought out you know the company whatever behind it and he started you know, working with them. And then what happened was NWA didn't like how things. I think something Tilly. Something Tilly. I forgot his name. Ted Tilly or whatever his name was. He didn't like how things were being ran or whatever with Ted Turner. So he decided to go separate ways with NWA, and they went and did their own thing while Ted Turner continued building WCW up. So when he took that NWA title, all that legacy that was attached and that history that came before it went with that title. So even though the gold belt does have legacy attached to it with like Flair and Hogan and Goldberg and Jeff Jarrett, you know what I'm saying? Uh, and David Arquette. You know,
Boy, why?
yeah, right.
That one.
Right. And the finger poke of doom. It just the big gold belt is not quite the NWA title. Like it's like the NWA is to me the NWA is the only belt I can see in comparison to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Like it's the only other belt. Like if you got any belt, if you say I'm going to get any belt, you want the WWE World Heavyweight Championship title or the NWA title. You want either one. You want either one out of any other world heavyweight belt that's out there. But but again, like guys like Finn, guys like Adam Cole, like these guys, they gotta leave the nest. Finn, I understand why Finn is there, but Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era need to leave because they're gonna get stale. And what's gonna happen is Adam Cole is gonna start to look overrated if he does not leave. You know what I mean? So and at this point, I'm starting to look at Adam Cole as not really being. Right now. I'm still waiting for to see more out of Adam Cole because if Adam Cole does not come out of NXT and he stays in NXT, and then if he stays there too long, he's going to get stale. You know what I'm saying? When he finally comes, and if he decides to come up at a late time, it could really destroy the kind of push and the kind of luster that could come with him going up to the main roster. But yeah, you watching Raw?
Yeah, just the end of it.
Okay, but yeah, but that's the thing, man. Like these guys gotta leave the nest. These guys gotta leave the nest. They gotta get out of the nest, and they gotta move forward. If they don't move forward, then they're going to get stale. Finn Balor is an exception because Finn Balor came back, helped build the brand. He's helping build the brand. And he's, kind of like rejuvenating his character, which I like. The difference between Finn Balor and Adam Cole right now is the fact that Finn Balor looks good without the title, which is a great thing because Finn Balor is learning how to be a champion without being a champion. And he's gaining that Austin factor, that Rock factor, that Triple H factor, that that Hogan factor, that factor of that aura where when he comes into the room or when he shows up, it's like a superstar has arrived. Like Finn Balor is now gaining that. Like he's getting it. That's something that Adam Cole needs to get. That's something that Adam Cole needs to develop. He has a lot of pull behind his name. He has a lot of fame behind his name, but he's still learning how to be that guy, and he needs to go to the main roster. They need to.
I mean, I agree. I forgot who's Anthony Cobb said yesterday, and I've been saying for months at this point. Like I said, the Undisputed Era has nothing left to accomplish, in NXT. Now, and I get you don't want to go to the main roster, and you don't want to, be buried or be. But I mean, Matt Riddle is doing pretty good, so they can look at that. But at some point, we know Matt Riddle is going to become that guy who, now I don't want to say buried, but who has who changes exchanges wins and losses. And it's just the risk you have to take because, like you said, you stay in NXT, then you just stay there and nothing happens. Now, granted, it's worked for Gargano, it's worked for Ciampa. But again, both those guys took time off. They took time away, then came back and So I mean, only other thing, but then if you break up Undisputed Era, which would be something kind of new and fresh, but it still would be kind of stale because what now you have Adam Cole on the island by himself. I mean, will he still put off great matches? Absolutely, but it'll be like, all right, what do we do now? Where do you go from here? So. Yeah, I mean, he definitely him and Undisputed Era all need to just go up and leave NXT for like carrying cross and stuff and like you said, at some point you on the main roster for 2-3 years, maybe 4, dominate there, do what you got to do, and then go back to NXT. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I thought about this today, and I said. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Adam Cole goes up to the main roster without Undisputed Era, it will not work out for his best interest.
Of course not. Yeah.
And I totally agree. I totally agree with you. Like him going up to the main roster without Undisputed Era, he's gonna be flat. He may shine, because fans like him, but this is an unpopular opinion. This is a very unpopular opinion. And I'm going to say it. Adam Cole is overrated.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. I said it. I said it. When they took that belt, tell me you didn't feel like when think about it. Like when Asuka had that belt, you I can't wait till she go up to the main roster. When Rhea Ripley had the belt, it's like you felt like, all right, I can't wait till she has her reign and go up to the main roster. Adam Cole had the belt. I was just like, he has the belt. I mean, I really feel like Adam Cole mixing it up with other people, he can have great matches. He can have a great match with AJ. He can have a great match with Daniel. Him going against somebody like Bobby Lashley. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I could see him having he had great matches with Ricochet, right?
Him and Dolph Ziggler would tear the house down.
Dolph Ziggler, right? I'm telling you, I feel like Adam Cole, and I'm saying this right now, and you're gonna hate me. You're probably not gonna like this opinion, but Adam Cole is only as big as where he's at in NXT. He goes up to the main roster.
All right, so let me ask you a question. So all right, you said Adam Cole had the belt. You didn't have that. Oh, I can't wait for him to go to the main roster. Phil, is what you said.
No.
Okay. So you don't.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
You don't have that same vibe with. You didn't have that same vibe with let's say Keith Lee. You don't have that same vibe with Io Shirai. Even what's his name? The North American champion.
Who? Damian Priest?
Right. So you don't have those exactly. So sometimes you don't. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't get those. Because I didn't expect Keith Lee to go to the main roster right now. To be honest with you, I think he's going to be on NXT for a little longer. Dominate there. And then then eventually go up. But literally, he won both titles. He had the NXT championship for what, a month, if that, and then go straight up to the main roster. Like,
okay, you know what's cool about Keith Lee being in the Royal Rumble? Keith Lee allowed us to feel him in that position, in that place. So we got to see, like, okay, that's cool. Like, so if you didn't know who Keith Lee was, you got to. So I'm sorry, Sean Keys is like, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
He's as big as brass allows him to be. The fans will make him big. Now they will. Sean Keys says they moved Keith too fast.
I agree.
Because they wouldn't need a talent, so that's why they moved him. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's my opinion.
But they could do the brand invitational. Like apparently they started, they stopped. But as we seen on Monday, that they're bringing it back next week. So I mean, if you need new talent, just mix up the. You know, I heard the rumor that they got drafts coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying.
So question: you guys are excited to see Randy Orton fight Adam Cole?
Randy Orton to fight Adam Cole?
Yeah, on the main roster. Adam Cole. The thing about Adam Cole to me is this: Adam Cole don't even look like a wrestler. He looked like a regular white dude who skateboards. Came inside of NXT development, was like, "You guys looking for wrestlers?" He was like, "Yeah." He took his shirt off, jumped in the ring, pushed his skateboard aside, and started wrestling. He has a chest of a 12-year-old boy. He looked like he don't bench press more than 50 pounds. Yo, Adam Cole.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you because I just had that whole visual in my head.
Nah, man. Yo, when I heard people talk, I'm gonna be. This is my. I'm gonna be honest because I was really being. I was really just kind of like skating around it with Adam Cole and just kind of like just. But I'm gonna just be real about it, right? Like I didn't know anything about. I knew nothing about Finn Balor. I knew nothing about Finn until Finn came up to the main roster. And then they were showing him in like NXT, and I wasn't watching NXT at all. I was like, "Who's this Finn Balor guy?" Right? It's like, who's this guy? Then when I started doing research, started backtracking on this guy, I was like, "Wow!" I was amazed at Finn Balor. I was amazed, right? But then not only that, but Finn Balor is a small guy, but Finn Balor looks like something. He's in shape. He has a physique. You know what I'm saying? And and Finn Balor has this thing about him where when he comes in a ring, it's almost like he's bigger than he is. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like even when he fought Brock Lesnar, he was a small guy, but it felt like he was bigger than what he was. And it's the same thing with like Daniel. Like Daniel, he's a small guy, but his technical prowess says, oh, he'll find a way to outsmart his bigger opponents. I look at Adam Cole.
Cesaro's the same way.
He said what?
Cesaro's in that same, Finn and Daniel Bryan category, like small guy, but the physique looks, built, right. And they can turn around. But
right. Adam Cole doesn't look like he could win a bar fight. I'm sorry. He doesn't. He doesn't look like he could beat a 12-year-old boy in a fight. I'm sorry. I look at Adam Cole, I'm just be like, all right. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Adam Cole is a bad wrestler. I'm not saying he can't wrestle. Only thing I'm saying is I need more. Like, you know what? We give sometimes, like, again, like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with Vince because there's some things that Vince do I love. There's some things that Vince says I like and I agree with. But there's some things that Vince does and does that I don't agree with. But one thing I agree with on Vince in a small capacity is that if you're going to be the man, you got to look like the man. You got to look believable. Like, think about it. Even though Daniel Bryan had one of the best WrestleManias, he's not one of the biggest merchandise sellers. He's not. He's a big merchandise seller. But if you comparing him to like a Austin, you comparing him to a Hogan, you comparing him to a Rock, like he's not there. You comparing him to a CM, like he's not, because again, his size. Because you look at him, you're like, all right, he's a great wrestler. He could put on a great match. But if somebody has never seen wrestling, and I got a perfect example. I remember one time I was watching TNA, and I seen Samoa, and I was watching TNA with my friends, right? And one of my friends was there. It was like three of us in a room, whatever. And Samoa Joe was on TV. This is like way back in TNA, right? And the dude who was there with my friend, he was like, he said Samoa Joe, and he looks at Samoa Joe. He's like, that dude don't even look Samoan. He like a white boy. It's just like that, because Samoa Joe don't really have. I mean, I could tell, but it's just that he doesn't look like strong Samoan. But what I'm saying is that the look you have has to be convincing. That's my point. Like, you have to be a convincing looking, wrestler. Like, you got to look convinced. Like, I got to be convinced that you wrestle. I have to be convinced that you look like a champion, or convinced you look like that's why when I was a kid, I never liked Flair. because he was this flabby old man with white hair that was slapping people in the chest, always on the floor like this, begging and pleading for his life. He hits you in the nuts, puts you in a figure four leg like match is over. He gets beat up. He gets beat up the whole match. Does two moves and the match is over.
So you're trying to say during the whole Survivor Series build, you trying to tell me that Adam Cole defending the NXT Championship against Daniel Bryan wasn't gold? Adam Cole defending the NXT Championship against Seth Rollins the following week on Raw, those were great matches.
They're great matches. No. And I'm not taking away from that. The matches were good. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me hit Sean real quick. Sean got some stuff real quick. We got to let these old names go, though we don't talk of Bruno Sammartino no more. Laugh out loud. We respect the legends, but they are the past. We can't keep comparing people to the past. Okay. I get what you're saying. Sean Keys also says, I say that to say Daniel Bryan was a major player in the game and a big name champion. Okay. All right. So okay, cool. All right. We'll roll with this. We'll roll with this, Sean. All right. So we'll take out the old names. We'll take out the old legends, right? And we'll bring in the new people, right? That's why Brock Lesnar has held the title, captured, had held the title for ransom for so long. You know why? Because Brock Lesnar looked the part. When Randy Orton cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Daniel Bryan, the reason why they were cutting that B+ thing. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with Vince to the extent that a person like Daniel Bryan or a person like Adam Cole should not get a shot. I think they should get a shot. I agree. But what I'm saying is that these guys, like, to really win fans over and to be convinced at this person's image, because remember, this is entertainment. This is not just about, how well you can perform wrestling moves. This is about how well you can entertain the crowd. So entertainment also comes not just by the things you say, but also how your appearance is. You know what I'm saying? Like how your entrance is. It's just the whole package. He doesn't, like, Adam Cole doesn't have the whole package. Like, he doesn't present the whole package. His match with Seth Rollins, good match. But again, I'm sitting there looking at this like, what do they call them? Manila midgets. That's what they call them in WWE. Like, I'm looking at this guy who's like with a big head and short arms, with a flabby, with a little 12-year-old chest, fighting around with Seth Rollins. And I'm like, it's cool, but I'm just like, who is he? When I look at what's the guy name? The bro dude. Matt Riddle. Like, Matt Riddle, when I see Matt Riddle, and I was like, all right, okay, cool. He look like the surfer white dude, but he's in shape. He, you know what I'm saying? He has MMA background, but he has a look. He has a physique. He has a look. He has more to him. And it's just like, it's just like, all right, cool. It's like Adam Cole doesn't give me that. Because Vince is stuck on old ways. That's why he's been calling for Triple H, Shane, and Steph to take over. Yeah, I mean, but again, he is stuck on old ways, but I agree with Vince in the sense that who was the wrestler Cain Velasquez, right? When Cain Velasquez came in to fight Brock Lesnar, right? They were going to sign Cain for a contract, and they were going to give him the Universal title. You know why they didn't sign that? You know why they didn't continue on with Cain? Because Cain wasn't in shape. When Cain came out there, they looked at him. It was like, all right. So Vince was like, okay, cool, we'll work with this right here. But then he was like all flabby and stuff. And then when he kept seeing Cain come out, and Vince was like, yo, Cain got to get in shape. Like, he has to look like something. Because think about it. You see Brock Lesnar all cut up, ripped up, and you see this dude who look like he sits home and drink beers and eat Twinkies all day come and beat up Brock Lesnar. Do you really feel convinced? You know what I'm saying? Like, that this guy's going to beat this other guy? No, you don't feel convinced. And it doesn't make for good entertainment. It looks sloppy. It looks
right. And but then we also made the statement a couple of shows ago. Vince can make anybody look strong. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Adam Cole doesn't look the part. He looks like, as you say, a skateboarder who lives in Venice Beach or whatever the case is. But at the same time, based off booking, you book him where he fights a matter of fact, I'll give you a prime example. So remember with the whole build with Ricochet, Ricochet is about to fight Brock Lesnar. Ricochet does not look nowhere near the fact that he can beat Brock Lesnar. But but they built him to fight bigger guys. Like he fought Bobby Lashley on the probably before that. I think he fought Luke Gallows. So he's fighting big guys and winning. So you're like, oh, okay, so he has a chance. Then he fights Brock Lesnar, gets dominated. So now let's say you bring Adam Cole to the main roster and he's building for this match against, let's say, Brock Lesnar. But you have him, run through Big Show. Let's say he beats Big Show clean. He beats Braun Strowman clean. And like I said, to us, it doesn't seem believable right now. But during the booking and as you're watching the match, and obviously they'll have some kind of flow to make it work, you'd be like, oh, okay. Now I'm gonna give you another match too to do the research on. Walter versus Tyler Bate. I want you to watch that match because Tyler Bate looks younger than Adam Cole.
Okay.
But he had the match where you're like, okay, he's gonna get dominated, and he had a couple moves and he had a little swing where you're like, oh, wait a minute, he might actually win this. So that's another great match that that's actually on that Brock Lesnar Finn Balor tier of matches for me. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna just go to hit these comments real quick. Sean Keys, he says KO should be champ, but he doesn't look the part to them. I agree. Like I thought Kevin Owens as a champ was great. All right, before I hit Johnny real quick, I'm gonna just respond. I think again, Samoa Joe is not in like the best shape, but Samoa Joe has an image where you believe it. Like you believe it. You believe that again. I think it's like Adam Cole. Like Adam Cole, listen. Like I don't believe him. I'm not saying that Adam Cole is a bad wrestler. Don't get me wrong. That's the reason why I said I need to see more from him. I need to see more. I need to be more convinced by him. I'm not convinced by Adam Cole. I'm just not. I need to see more out of him. I need to see that star power of why this guy is being chosen. You know what I'm saying? I can understand because they have the whole Undisputed Era in his indie work, but I'm just like, I need to see more. You know what I mean? And I get it. Like I like Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe is not in the best shape, but Samoa Joe is convincing in his entertainment. Who else? Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens didn't know too much about Kevin Owens. Here's this chubby kid who comes out of nowhere from NXT, challenges John Cena. What does he do on the night that he faces John Cena one-on-one? He catches him with the power bomb. He takes the NXT title, raises it in the air, and steps on the United States title as to signify that this title is greater than that. I don't even want that title because this title is better. That was such a monumental moment, but it was just those things that convinced me, like, all right, this dude don't really have this athletic shape, but he got something. I want to see more. Then he had these phenomenal matches with, these two phenomenal matches with John Cena. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that when I look at Adam Cole and it's like, think about it, right? He doesn't have a title. It's almost like, well, why is he? It's almost like, why is he still in NXT? Why is he still there?
Right. So. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Let me just hit this, and then Johnny Hero Music Storm said, "I agree. Being great in the ring is good. The image has to match. The entertainment has to match. Daniel Bryan and Kofi fall into that category. A great build-up to them winning the championship, but they don't have the appearance of entertainment factor for long runs at the top. Adam Cole falls in that category. The only plus for Adam is he has Undisputed Era with him. Proof that faction can work wonders for someone's character." Right.
No, I agree. I'll give you like another sports comparison. So, all right, obviously you said Adam Cole is small. He doesn't look the part. Cool. But that doesn't mean he's not going to get the job done. So I give you a reference, Steph Curry. Steph Curry
Okay.
is the biggest guy in the NBA, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm saying? But he's gonna go out there and he's gonna put on a show, and you have to actually watch him because he'll silently give you 50 points, and you're like, yo, what the hell happened? He'll go to the lane and whatever like that. So physique isn't always the best. It's your in-ring ability, and and again basketball is a little different from wrestling because wrestling is predetermined, and wrestling is also based off of booking and things like that. But at the same time, as I said, if you book Adam Cole to fight these giants or have these big matches and actually win, then even though you're like, oh, he's small, he has a small physique, but you're like, yo, I kind of believe it. For prime example, Shawn Michaels, when he was a champ, they had him fight Vader, they had him fight Sid Vicious, and you're like, wait a minute, there's no way this small guy from San Antonio just beating these monsters, but he got it done. So,
all right. Let's hear Sean. Sean got something to say. Sean says, we got to remember booking is predetermined, so they are telling us who should win by XYZ. Whereas if you follow some of these guys in promotions where they have more control, they really go, i.e., Ricochet. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, Sean. We totally agree. Yeah, right. So you could book whoever to win whatever. Like this guy can be, 10 feet tall and weigh 1,000 pounds, and the guy you choose is like 5'4", and weigh $105, and you could book him to, have some super secret drop kick that knocks him out and just like takes all his energy and pin him. You could do whatever, you could book whatever you want because really it's predetermined. It's like we want this guy to win, and figure out some convincing way to beat this guy, and we get it. I totally agree with you, Jay. Like totally, like yeah, like I don't like this like David and Goliath matches. Like I'm totally with. Like when all Brock Lesnar's matches when he fought Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor, like they were great matches because those are those are small guys, but all three of those guys pulled it off phenomenally against Brock Lesnar. I thought it was a great match. AJ Styles is one of my favorite wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Before when he was in TNA, I looked at AJ and knew he was a star. I was like, this guy's a star. AJ is one of my favorite wrestlers. AJ is great. Daniel Bryan is not one of my favorite wrestlers. I don't put him on my list as one of my favorites because he's just like, to me, he's almost, again, he's like another Chris Benoit because Chris Benoit was one of my favorite wrestlers. You know what I mean? So, like next to Brett, whatever. But again, I give Daniel his due. I give Daniel his due. Daniel is one of the best wrestlers we have now, hands down. Daniel will go in that ring and he will give you a great match. Every time I say to myself, you know what? I'm gonna watch this match with Daniel and it's gonna suck. And I watch it, I'm like, Daniel knows what he's doing. And that's like Daniel had Yeselmania because Daniel is amazing. Daniel had a great match against Triple H. He had a great triple threat match. He is what it is. Only thing I'm saying is Daniel convinced me. You know what I'm saying? Even though Daniel won the title and I didn't want to see him with the title, but I had to give him his due because he was great. He was cutting great promos. He was having good matches. And he had a great handoff to Kofi, which is dope. A great ending to that reign, which is dope. Again, like I it's just that when I look at Adam Cole, I just want to see more. And I feel like Adam Cole can wrestle bigger guys and he can have great matches. I need to see more.
But I also look at it like this: just because you go to the main roster, don't mean you have to fight, big giant guys. I mean, because you could be in the mid card division where let's say he goes to SmackDown. There's a ton of small guys on SmackDown that he could fight. Daniel Bryan, Bubba Gulak.
I haven't seen much of Drew Gulak's work in NXT, but I like Drew Gulak. I like Drew Gulak more than I like Daniel Bryan. Go
Wow.
figure. Even though no, I'm not saying he's better. I'm not saying he's
You
better.
like no. You say you like him.
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with.
right.
I was never a huge fan. Like I tried to watch him in 205. Then when he came out with the whole chalkboard and breaking down statistics, I just couldn't get on the Drew Gulak bandwagon. I tried even when he was the 205 champ. I was just like, I just can't do it. I like Tony Nese more than I liked Drew Gulak, honestly.
Okay. Like I like Chad Gable. I'm really like a 100% advocate for Shorty G. If they drop the Shorty G name and go back to his old attire, keep him with the same, go back to his old attire and have him wrestle serious matches, I think he could be taken serious, just as serious as Daniel Bryan can, or just as these smaller guys. But
now, question: Is Shorty G a heel, or is he still a baby face, or he's like confused? Because he's been trying to chase his ransom for a couple weeks. So
because I miss like some, because when I watch Raw and I watch SmackDown, I always catch it an hour late. So when I cut it on, segments I don't want to watch, I just fast forward through. I just be like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. Let me get to this match. Let me get to that match. So the last thing I seen concerning Shorty G was, didn't he help somebody? Didn't he like?
So King Corbin he put a ransom out on Matt Riddle. So whoever can take him out, he has the King's ransom. Now we don't know what the hell this ransom is. He never said a dollar amount or anything like that. But he had a talk backstage with Shorty G, like, yo, I feel you needed to kickstart your career, blah blah blah. So for a couple weeks following that confrontation, Shorty G's been attacking, Matt Riddle from behind every time. So I mean, I don't know, and so that's what I'm saying. I don't know if Shorty G officially made the heel turn, or is he just, he's still a baby face, or he's like kind of in the middle where he doesn't know it, so.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. What I do know, what I feel like they should do, though, I should say, is that they need to give him a serious gimmick. Because think about it, right? Like if Adam Cole was coming up to the main roster, you got Drew Gulak, you got Daniel Bryan, who's like probably wrestling part-time. We haven't seen him wrestle ever since his like match with AJ for the Intercontinental title. But you got some of these smaller guys coming up. You want Chad Gable to be in that mix, to at least give him that opportunity, to give him that chance, but Chad can go, like, and that's the thing that bothers me. Like I look at Chad and I'm like, yo, this guy, like I was so impressed by that rolling like German suplex and just like seeing, and just seeing a little bit of his power. I was just like, yo, this dude's nice. So but you see it though. I'm sorry, man, but Adam Cole, I just need to see more. I feel like he's nothing. I feel like right now he needs to prove that star power. Finn Balor, damn near got buried on the main roster. He finally gets a Universal title shot after a year of being on the main roster. It was almost like they totally forgot he even had the damn Universal title. Let me not say forgot, but they mentioned it. They were saying like, oh, the first Universal champion, Michael Cole, will always shout him out and so forth. But it was like the fact that they never put him in the picture to really wrestle for, and just had him fighting for the Intercontinental title, even though he won it twice, which is a good thing. It's a good pat, you know what I'm saying? And it's just that the fact that Finn Balor was still loved, though. Like people still love, like we still liked him, you know what I'm saying? And then when he went down to the main roster and he goes to NXT, and it's just like, bro, like you're cutting better promos, you're having great matches. It's just like he just rejuvenated his character, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, we need you in the main roster. We need that Finn Balor we have in NXT on the main roster. But I feel like before he leaves to go to the main roster, he needs that NXT title. Because for him to go down to NXT and not win any gold, and especially cutting one of the best characters that they have down there right now, probably the best, in my opinion, it'll feel like it's all for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but NXT is on, right?
No, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Oh, okay. All right, because we've been on for almost an hour. But
Yeah, I guess we can run through Raw real quick, touch base on.
yeah, let's do that. So I caught a little bit of Raw. I think the thing that I'll start off with this real quick. I think the thing that really caught me on Raw was this. Cedric Alexander joining the Hurt Business. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was great. I'm totally for it. Yeah, I'm with it. Black and gold.
Right.
I'm with it. I'm like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I like it. Yet another heel turn, which is great. It's gonna boost his career and give him a different look. So which is good. And you kind of saw it happening because MVP kind of planting the seeds a little bit, and he's and Cedric is deferring it, but then they'll walk away, and you see him thinking like something like, yeah, he's gonna turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and then how it happened, it was just like I knew it.
Yeah. I thought it was a great move because Cedric and Ricochet they need something more to they needed something more to their character because the way they were getting buried. That was a smart move for Cedric Alexander to go to Hurt Business because of how his character wasn't being utilized properly. So he's like, let me go to them because they're being utilized. So I know what they're going to do is because like every night they were getting beat up, right? All
Right.
four of them were getting beat up. So it was like, yo, why not just join them? You got Bobby Lashley. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they can handle MVP and Shelton Benjamin, but then you got Bobby Lashley. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the odds, just got worse for you guys. And,
Right.
it's me, Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, and Mustafa Ali. Like, it's like, it's like, yeah, it's like it's so crazy because when they introduce Mustafa Ali, I'm just like, it's like, so, so what I mean? It's just like, I think it was a great move for him to go. So, but yeah, so how was the handicap matches? I heard Retribution.
They cut a promo for the first time.
So I got some news on that whole promo. Do you know you got some news on the promo? Did you hear the rumor behind the whole promo?
No, I heard a rumor, but I actually heard the promo.
Okay, so I didn't hear the promo. I didn't watch the promo because at that time, it was my bedtime. So, and I didn't, when I came home, I didn't watch it. So, I had to do some other things before we did this live. So, anyway, to get to the point, Mojo Raleigh was one of the people who was being used for Retribution. Mojo Raleigh, Mia Yim is confirmed to be in the group. So you're right. Dominic Dijakovic.
Dijakovic. Yep, I seen him.
Yes, he's confirmed. And who's the other person? There was 4 people they named.
But it's funny because they during the promo they mentioned, WWE let them go, and and the fans are being brainwashed, something like that. So it has to be somebody that they let go or kick to the side, kind of. So
I just hope it's not Sami Zayn.
Yeah, but no, well, Sami Zayn's on SmackDown, so and it wouldn't really make sense for him to be part of Retribution while he's actually has this whole storyline with the IC championship. So
yeah. I'm trying to find out who the person was, but yeah. I mean, as far as the names that were named, like, what do you think about that? Let's start there. What do you think about the names that were named? for Retribution? Dajakovic, Mojo Raleigh, Mia Yim.
Well, Mojo's a new one. This is my first time hearing about Mojo, but I definitely been hearing about Dominic. And as I said, yesterday, if you guys watched the Raw from last week, I nailed on that one of the female members was Mia Yim. And I think Chelsea Green may be the other one, probably, but I guess we'll see around that time. But yeah, I like it. I guess we'll figure out who the leader is, and because obviously they would have to have a strong leader. Because personally, my opinion, if Mojo Rawley is the leader, I'm not going to take that group serious. I'm sorry. So yeah. I don't care if you have him dressed in all black and have new haircut, I'm still not gonna take it serious. I'm gonna be like, oh, there's a jobber, cool, hey. So yeah, he cannot be the leader in no shape, form, or fashion. I kind of don't even want him in the group because he's gonna take away prestige from him. But yeah, but everybody else, I have no problem with it, and I like it.
If Mojo Rawley's the leader of the group, they're doomed. they are doomed. Like, they're doomed before they even. And I think it's so funny because it was like when we talked about it, we had Chris on the show and we first started talking about Retribution. Again, it was just from the initial look and how they came out. It was like these guys look soft. They look like a bunch of college kids in hoodies, spray painting. I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna hurt a fly. Like, get out of here. Y'all couldn't punch your way through a wet paper bag.
Yeah, that's great. That's why I said it's like High School Musical, Disney Channel kind of.
Miley Cyrus in the hoodie showing up with Zac Efron.
and Justin Bieber and
Justin Bieber. Like, get out of here, Justin Bieber. You better go home. Get out of here. You hurt yourself, Justin. Yeah, man. Yeah, again, like they can. When Nexus showed up and they destroyed everything, it was like, who the hell is that? That is exactly what you thought. Who the hell is that? So you thought that's what popped in mind. You know what I'm saying?
You had a couple guys with decent physiques. You had what was it? Well, obviously Ryback was there. He's a big guy. You also had what's his name? Anthony Tarver.
Tarver, right? Yeah, Tarver.
The lawyer.
Yeah. Ryback, Tarver, Daniel Bryan, Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater, Wade Barrett,
and the lawyer. Jennifer Hudson's husband.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah. So a lot of them had that wrestler look, and the Wade Barrett was kind of taller, he big, so and then the way they came out and just down, and what it is, Retribution came out just destroying stuff, and we're like, oh, come on. Where the Nexus came out and just destroyed the baby face of the WWE at the time, like the strongest guy in the locker room, like, oh, snap. You know what I'm saying? CM Punk, and then and I think Luke Gallows was there too, because I guess it was the Straight Edge Society. They attacked the three of them, so you're like, yeah, okay, they really dominated, three of the top stars right now, and they're about to dominate, tear apart the arena, which at that point we've never seen before. I mean, outside of probably NWO or something close to it, but destroying the whole ring and even Carnage, it left you like in shock, like, wow, what's just happened? So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So my bad. I think it was convincing.
Right.
I'm convinced. These look like college kids who got drunk and decided to walk into a WWE arena while they were live and spray paint. And I'm like, get out of here, go home, go back to school, go study, hit the books, kid. Like, get out of here, man. It was just not convincing, man.
Oh, you not convincing at all, man. Wow. You mean analogy?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You can't tell me they look like a bunch of college kids. They look soft, man. I'm just like, yo,
They were real small.
yeah, man. So whoever they again, like we like everybody knows, like, and from what I heard, this is what I read online, that Vince McMahon is just now using various peoples in the hoods as placeholders,
Yeah,
right? But this is what I think happened. Vince McMahon said, "Okay, I'm going to take Mojo Rawley. I'm going to take all these people. We're going to put them in hoods, and we're going to, you're going to do the retribution angle." And when they came out, and the feedback that they got was a poor reception. Like, oh, these guys look soft. I look like I could beat these guys up by myself. All five of them. You know what I'm saying? I think my grandma could take them. Like when he seen like the feedback from people online saying crazy stuff like that, he was like, all right, let's just put this out. Like these guys are placeholders. You know what I'm saying? Until they find legitimate people that are not being utilized to now be utilized in that faction. Sean Key says, after that message Monday, I think it's released wrestlers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because the way they said, we were let go and just thrown aside. So I mean, it could be a bunch of how now that's what I'm saying. Like now, if it's a bunch of wrestlers who weren't released or who's not really being taken advantage of, then I'm like, all right, cool. Now, another name that I heard, which would be dope if he's in it, is Tommaso Ciampa. Now, if he's the leader, very believable.
Very believable. But this is the problem. This is the only problem with that. It would only work out for Tommaso. Everybody else, and maybe me and him, but everybody else that is not as believable in character as Tommaso, you're just a lackey. They're going to be knockaround guys. You know what I'm saying? So, I say that because like,
what if Rusev is one of them?
That'd be dope. Like if it was Rusev, Zack Ryder, like freaking who else? Like even if Heath Slater was a part of that small group, but just had the people with him, like a Rusev or like a Zack Ryder or who else? Like they could if they rebranded them, like when they come up, because of course they're being rebranded with Retribution, but and they're right, then it'll work. I'll believe it. You know what I'm saying? But this guy, like Mojo Rawley tried the hardcore image. He can try it again. But again, like he got to knock this out the park. If he don't, then he need to hang it up. Right now he need to hang it up by far.
He needs to go to NXT UK.
Who?
Mojo. Even though he's not European, he needs to come up with a fake accent and just go over there, just so he can be relevant.
Jay. Oh, dude. Sharky says, well, it can't be Zach or Rusev. Because I know Rusev said that he is done.
You can't listen to that because Leo Rush did the same thing, and he appeared at some wrestling show, so you can't believe nothing they say.
And Zach apparently signed with AEW.
Yeah, Zach is definitely with AEW.
However, this is the thing about AEW that some of us forget, is that a lot of these wrestlers that come over there, they're over there on trial contracts. Some of them, like some people sign to the main roster, and some of them are on the main roster with trial contracts. Because I think they released like three or four wrestlers or something like not too long ago. But they all are not obligated to only wrestle under the AEW umbrella. They can wrestle in indie circuits. I think they can't wrestle in major brands. So if Zach showed up, Zach probably was there over trial. I don't know if Zach is officially signed. Maybe he is. He probably is, because when he showed up, he seemed like he was officially signed. But if he's not, and that was like a trial situation, and Zach just so happened to show a retribution, then that'd be
So
crazy.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Speaking of release superstars in AEW,
You said what?
I said speaking of release superstars in AEW superstars,
Okay.
what if one of the members of Retribution
Okay.
was Cameron?
Wait, she got released from AEW?
I don't know. I know she put up a post, and she's like she's not officially signed to AEW, so she's like she's still a free agent, and things like that. So
Right. If she's part of Retribution, I mean, again, what if one of the members of Retribution was Brodus Clay, the Funkadactyl, the Funk. Brodus Clay. Oh, oh man. Wait, hold on a second. We got some. Wait, we got some. What you call? We got some garbage. Sharpies. He's been in several matches, and he was on All Out Saturday. Okay, so that does it for Zach. WWE Brazil Fias. What's that mean? Oh, Salizo Dennis. Thank you for joining us, Salizo Dennis. He's joining us from Brazil. Brazil.
Oh, nice. We made it.
Right. We made it, right. Short Keys. Hey yo, laugh out loud. I was shocked to see her in AEW.
Me too.
He said what Brodus, right. They come out as Retribution.
And it lights go out.
And then he be like, hey, my music. So better go. Oh.
Oh snap.
Oh, Joe. He like you think of the black man, like he be like, I hit my music, somebody call my who's that? Oh man. Yeah, but if Brodus Clay show up. If Brodus Clay I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing. If Brodus Clay shows up at Retribution, what's WWE? Oh God! Oh, my ribs hurt. Oh shoot! The Brodus Clay show, yo, like I'm not doing another Wrestle Talk and Thoughts. Game over. Oh shoot! But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying, man. They need to have some credible people, man. They got some credible people.
Mr. Kennedy will be a decent name if he's still wrestling.
He's a who?
Mr. Kennedy.
Ken Kennedy?
Yeah. Mr. He said a little mic come down and
Kennedy! Man, he washed up, man. Yo, there's only a few people who went to TNA and really, held some fire with them. Like Christian had some fire. Like Christian went over to TNA and brought WWE fans over there to watch him. Angle, Booker T, all of them. But Kent, man, he washed up, man.
But I always felt like that Retribution should have been all the release talent from I guess they call it Black Wednesday. I feel like Retribution should have been all of those superstars to come back and still be in the fold. That's what I always felt.
Okay, so who's the release talent? Let's name them. If you could remember.
Was Kurt Hawkins.
Okay.
Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson.
Yeah. Okay.
Heath Slater.
Okay.
Zack Ryder, obviously.
Who?
Zack Ryder.
Ryder. Okay.
Leo Rush.
Okay.
The Ascension, I would have liked to seen them, but not really. Yeah. AOP would be great, being that they were just released. But since they just were released, I doubt that they're gonna bring them back like that. I wasn't really a big fan of Mike and Maria Kanellis. They were boring to me.
They didn't use. I feel like they didn't use them properly.
They didn't. They didn't.
They could have made Mike Kanellis a major player, but instead they played him like a punk. Like he was a simp. Like everything his girl wanted him to do, he did. He was a punk. I thought he was going to be like this, this pretty boy that went in, came out with his wife, came in, beat dudes up for his girlfriend, showed off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then they push him up to like an IC belt, and then like have this interesting relationship with his wife where his girlfriend be like, beat this dude up for me, and had that. I thought it was going to be dope, but I was just like, what is this? It's just, oh man, they didn't use him properly. Yeah.
I agree. They really didn't.
Yeah. That sucks because they had potential. They had potential. All right, let's get out of here, man. Let's go, man. Bro, this Clay. Let's get out of here, man. All right, guys. We thank you for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. You guys hit the subscribe button. You guys can hit the notification on the live. There should be like a small notification to notify you guys every time we go live. So you guys will know, because we want you guys to join us so we can hear from you guys. We had a few guests come. We had a few people in the comment section. Our usual regulars, Sean Keys. Sean Schaefer wasn't on today. Sean Keys. We had Johnny Hero Music, and we also had
Dennis.
Right, Dennis. Right. So we thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. We want you guys to join us every time we go live. We will go live. I think we're going live Sunday. We're going live this Sunday. So we want you guys to join us. Yes. And we will post up in Facebook so you guys will get the notification inside the groups. And you guys will be able to see when we go live to holler at us. All right, guys. We thank you for joining us for today. I am your host, Saheem the Dream.
With your boy, J Mac Mame. Mahalo.
Yes, sir. And we will see you guys later. Peace.